That and more this morning is provided by the dailies for today. Welcome to the show. My name is Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo, and if you check your calendar, today is the 30th day in the month of May 2025. In a moment, that's in another day. After tomorrow, we're going to be stepping into the first day in the month of June. That's the first half of the year 2025. Again, if it's midterm review after 2 years, can we also look back and check the scorecard in the last 6 months of the year 2025? This morning on the program, I have the Punch, the Guardian newspaper, and of course, we read from the Vanguard Online. We read from the Vanguard Online to see what that holds for us this morning in Nigeria. Lately, I've been reading more of stories from the Premium Times, and I've been finding, very serious and interesting editorial on that platform. I'll check again. If I find one that I think we should talk about, we look at it again this morning. Let's begin with the front page of the Punch. We start from page 32. Tinubu's cabinet aviation sector struggles to stay afloat in turbulent spikes. That you find on page 32 of the Punch. Moving on to page 2. WAEC under fire as exam chaos sparks outrage on page 2. And of course, to the major headline this morning, the mid-term review. APC fights back as Labour counters Tinubu's scorecard. The writer says ruling party rebut to defend Tinubu's reform. NLC, TUC, Amnesty decry worsening hardship, insecurity in the nation. The rest is an advertorial this morning. But if you ask me, the 3 stories on the front page of the Punch, that alone is enough for a deep conversation this morning about the aviation sector and the struggle to stay afloat in education, WAEC, and in politics, the midterm review of the president. Let's move on straight to the Guardian newspaper for today on page 6. 8 article, AFDB, PRP flag federal government loan plan despite impressive IGR return on page 6. And on page 3, man decries over 18,000 job caught, hostile environment on page 3. And on the same page 3, Amnesty International says gunmen killed 10,217 persons in 7 states. And of course, on page 6 of the same newspaper, Ohanaeze orders fault Tinubu's scorecard as APC blames past leaders. Again, I'll take that story so we can get it. Ohanaeze orders fault Tinubu's scorecard as APC, yes, I'm sure what I read, blames the past leaders. Past leaders under the same umbrella. Or maybe we start counting from the PDP. If it's coming from APC, it's probably a political statement. Maybe other political parties, before their own. And celebrating 2 years of leadership and progress coming from Senator Dr. Abdulaziz Yari Abubakar, the governor of Zamfara State. That's a big congratulatory message on the front page of The Guardian, coming from the governor of Zamfara State. I think we should talk about Zamfara and putting that again side by side, congratulating the president. I believe there's still more work to do in that state. And maybe we should pocket congratulations for now and then face the work. Maybe. What do I know? On the Vanguard, 21 corpses recovered as midnight flood sweeps 50 homes in Niger State. Very sad story there. May God comfort the families involved. WAEC exam in darkness, a national disgrace, says Atiku. And of course, June 12, military forced Nigerians to choose between Abiola Tofa, says Waziri. And second anniversary, Tinubu's performance in FCT, unprecedented, coming from Wike. And of course, still on the Vanguard, 21 corpses recovered as midnight flood sweeps 50 homes in Niger. I just took that. And I'm trying to see if we have more stories here. Federal government tackles digital exclusion with 7,000 new telecom towers to serve 20 million Nigerians. Cash transfer, 800 million down the drain. What drain? Somebody's pocket, someone's bank account, and so on and so forth. These are some of the stories that we have scattered across major dailies in Nigeria for today. Call your vendor, as always, if you read hard copy. And if not, go online on the Premium Times. This morning, for the records, CDTAR's victory speech as African Development Bank president-elect. Flood submerges houses, kills many in Niger State. 21 people dead, 10 missing in Niger flood disaster. All right. And of course, CDTAR elected to succeed Additional as African Development Bank president. And of course, Delta clinches 5th consecutive victory at the National Sport Festival. Thank you for joining the show this morning on Your State. We appreciate you. Remember, you can watch us live on our Facebook page, Wells Radio 893 FM fan page on Facebook, Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. You can also watch us on our YouTube platform at Wells Radio 893 FM on YouTube, Wells Radio 893 FM, and listen to us from anywhere in the world on our website, wellsradio893.com, and on Radio Garden, search for Wells Radio 89.3 FM and other streaming platforms on the internet. All you need to do is just Google Wells Radio 89.3 FM. All the streaming platforms will pop up for you, and you can enjoy radio from anywhere in the world. Welcome to the program. Once again, we'll take a break. And when we come back, as always, we look at the top stories of the week. We talk about that in the first half of the show. And of course, we visit the scorecard of the president on the other side. Do stay with us.
Giving a reserved apology for what played out yesterday. Let me quickly shed light on the happenings that led to what played out. It was very unfortunate that we received the information that the paper was being compromised. And so, as an examination body that is credible, that wants to be fair, we went to the drawing board and quickly came up with a solution to the compromised paper. So the preparation for the examination for that paper took off in earnest. We were able to achieve the aim we set out to, that is to prevent leakage. We were able to do that. But unfortunately, some other issues lurking in the dark reared their heads and affected the timely conduct of the examination. And that is particularly with regards to logistics. We had serious logistical problems. And for the vehicle that was conveying the exam material to Taraba, it broke down on the road in the middle of the night. And efforts to ensure that materials were recovered and sent to the place could not be achieved in time. So these were some of the reasons, and I want to say that we deeply regret it, and we have taken all steps necessary to ensure that this is nipped into the bud, doesn't occur again.
Welcome back to the program Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio. Let's start the conversation this morning as we look at, for me, the biggest story again in our nation, aside the scorecard of the president, which is on the table, and then we will look at that critically today. And that's the story about WAEC, exam in darkness. We'll look at that. But before that, I'll introduce our analyst Mr. Olali Konsoni joins me in the studio this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Chief.
Good morning to you, sir. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well, sir. How about you?
I'm well. We thank God for life. All right. Welcome to Nigeria again. Another week, another weekend. And then to talk again this morning. Atiku Abubakar says WAEC exam in darkness, a national disgrace. The former vice president has criticized the recent incident where Nigerian students were forced to sit for the West African Senior Secondary School certificate examination in the dark, unfit condition, calling it a national disgrace. And we just heard the voice of Mr. Dagnott, who is, of the WAEC, and apologizing to Nigerians. And it seems it's the season of apology in education. The other day, it was the registrar of JAMB, crying on national television, together with apology. And thereafter, we also saw when the result was released to the public, and the number of students that missed it, and even the statistics and the performance level. It's still nothing to write home about. But with, WAEC, it's been a while. Back-to-back JAMB and WAEC apology season. Let me get your thought on this. What exactly is going on? Someone on X said at a time like this, there should be a state of emergency declared in education in Nigeria. We are getting, this major breakdown. And of course, for you to finish senior secondary school or to finish secondary school, WAEC is your pass mark to that. For you to gain admission into the higher institution, whether university, polytechnic, or college of education, UTME, JAMB is the pass mark for that. And if there's a major breakdown in the two, institution, what else do we need if not a, state of emergency in that sector? What do you think? What's going on here?
Thank you very much, Chief. Personally, I don't believe in apologies. Sorry for that, but that's just the truth of the matter. Do what is right and forget about, issuing apologies. We shouldn't draw much on that of John because that has come and gone. I still have a lot of questions to ask, but let's focus on WAEC for now. You are supposed to run a tight-free system, a foolproof system. A system that should ensure that your questions should not be seen by the pupils until they are already seated for the examination. You failed in doing that. And for that reason, you decided unilaterally, without informing anybody, to shift the exam from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. in the night. That is evil, in my opinion. You failed, they didn't fail. You didn't do your job properly, and it's the students and their parents who are going to pay for your failure. Now you are saying you are apologizing for what exactly? For the impending mass failure? Or for the inconvenience that you must have placed on the parents of these kids? Not one of them would have, in fact, they might not have been physically present in the examination hall, but they would have been meters away from the examination hall. So it's as if you are writing WAEC again after maybe 30, 40 years. It's not making sense. It is not making sense at all. Not at all. Look at people who are, maybe for what we all understand, the Japa syndrome. Maybe they are all away and the kids are staying with their grandparents. Now you would now expect an 80-something-year-old man to come and stay in the cold
all night. Just because they are waiting for their grandchild.
It was a very rainy day on that particular day in many parts of the country. I wasn't in Ibadan that day. Where I was, it was raining cat and dog there. It's not making sense. What exactly would it have cost them if they had said, okay, give us a week, give us 2 weeks. We are going to reschedule that examination. Even if it's, 3 days from now. You didn't do that. Rather, you went the whole way, all alone, to say from 8 a.m. Did not even tell them that it was going to start at 8 p.m. They only told them, wait. The anxiety alone, the lack of direction alone would have rattled the students such that they won't even know what to write again. You can't blame them should there be mass failure. The only thing they may do right now is to soften their hands when they are marking, which is also not good for the system, because at the end of the day, you may get to approve the grades, approve high grades for students who are not worthy of high grades. So there is no way this is going to end well. If the federal government were to be a committed one, the very first thing they would have said was, stop that thing at a particular point in time. Just stop it right there. Continue with other papers, in subsequent days. But for English, let's sit down together, maybe a week from today. I'm not sure they write exams on Saturday. It's GC that writes on Saturday.
Saturday,
yeah. And WAEC doesn't do that. So if that's the case, let's pick a Saturday. A lot of them may have plans to travel out of the country or to just to any other part of the country immediately after the exam. So shifting the exams into a long future may not be totally sensible. Let's just say, okay, tomorrow is going to be Saturday. Why not Saturday tomorrow? Why do it that particular day when most certainly even the best student must have been tired mentally and physically? It's not making sense. It is not making sense. We are just running the country like a psychiatric facility, and it shouldn't be. JAMB is doing its own madness. WAEC is doing its own madness too. It's not making sense. This is enough to put a lot of people's mind away from education. That these people are not serious. Let me do something else with my life. And in all seriousness, they are not serious. And the government is not saying anything. Mind you, when that of JAMB happened initially, it's still something I'm struggling to understand. The minister came out to say, okay, it happened because we ensured that there was not going to be any form of cheating. And that is why it's failed people massively.
And eventually, the registrar said something different.
And the registrar said something different. Initially, the registrar said it wasn't anything serious, that has been the trend for the past 12 years. Later on, he said, and he started shedding crocodile tears that I don't believe in till this very moment. Till this particular moment, the minister has not come out to say, okay, I am sorry. It's about validating his nonsense. Just like it happened during the week, a suicide bomber almost gained entry into the Mogadishu barracks in Abuja. It's like the Ododo version of Ibadan here, the military barrack there. Luckily for Nigeria, the bomb detonated early at the entrance of the facility. He killed himself, he killed 2 other people, and injured quite a number of people as well. But it was not up to the 25, 30 figures that we always hear from Borno and the likes. And Nema came out immediately to say, it was a suicide bomber. But, as Providence would have it, he didn't totally gain entry into the barrack. Then the minister of FCT came out the day before to say, it was not, the day before yesterday, that it was not a suicide bomber, that it was a guy working in one of the quarries in Abuja that was. And Nema had to change their story to suit what Wike is saying. Such that they even said that, what they posted on their website, on their Twitter account, which said that it was a suicide bomber, was something posted there by a hacker, that they didn't do it. And later on, you will say the people don't have faith in the government. In all seriousness, if the minister were to be one who is thinking straight, at this particular point, he should have cancelled the exam. I should tell you that some pupils were writing in Tarawa. Like I said, it was a very rainy day. And the wall of their classroom actually collapsed on them.
At night.
And
for some reasons, they shouldn't even be in school at that time.
That is the point.
So even
if they had left around 2 p.m.,
yeah.
Nothing would have happened to them. That's one. Number 2, that happened and you still said that the exam must continue. How do you want to tell me that somebody who a wall collapsed on will pass?
Will continue.
Even if you are the best student in the world. It's not possible. They are intentionally placing these barriers against the growth of the Nigerian people. And it's just about the money. It's most certain, sir, that maybe WAEC is the total body, is the overall body. There is WASE for May, June, and there is GC for November, December. It's going to be more money for WAEC. Because it's most certain
the
that
private candidate version will be more.
A lot of these people will write again. And it's not going to be that, okay, we messed up the other time. There's going to be some sort of discount for you. Even if there's going to be this, which I know too well is not going to happen in this country. Do you want to discount their lives? How do you repay the
This
1
can be
year?
a time.
That's the point. That's the point.
Let's look at past situation. When I saw the video, the first thing that caught my attention, even before the time, is the fact that students, torchlights. We saw, in Taraba. I think another one in Ogun State, because this didn't just happen in Taraba alone.
It's all parts of the country. A woman called into one of your programs yesterday, screaming. She said that our kids actually returned around 10 p.m.
In Ibadan
In
here.
Ibadan here. In fact, only from what you were saying, it's across the country. It was not just a case of one state or the other. If it was to be a case of one state or the other, it wouldn't have been happening. If it was a state director that misbehaved, the mess would have been in just one. And they just said it now that the exam got into the open, and for that reason, they had to maybe generate another question, a set of questions, and at that particular point in time, you postpone. Not that you begin to
try to make
chess
to
with
do a
people's
quick
lives.
makeup.
No,
Because Nigeria is such a big place, and of course, just like the apology and pointing that in the direction of logistics, and it should be expected. Or what do you think? Because when I heard the apology, and I said to myself, it should be expected because of the size of our nation and the cost of transportation, the quality of the roads.
Moving forward, I think if the federal government is serious about fixing what's on the ground, mandate all examination bodies to have at least 3 questions ready for any particular day. Should there be any type of leak, you change it immediately to the second one.
Who are the people leaking the exams? The staff?
Most certainly.
Hackers getting into the database.
Where
is the security?
WAEC is still not online. They are still using pen and paper. Pen and paper to solve the questions.
Written-based exam.
So the idea of someone hacking to the system, that is what JAM is saying, which I don't believe in. But WAEC cannot say that simply because it's not an online exam. So if the papers got leaked, that happened on their own part. It must have been an insider who did that. Now, because somebody in your payroll did something bad, you now said you want to punish almost everybody in the country, because it's not just the students. Like I said, it's going to be their parents, it's going to be their grandparents, it's going to be their uncles, their brothers. It's not making sense. It is not making sense.
All right, there's a call on the line. Let's take this quickly. Hello, good morning to you. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from?
This is Miriam from Odeja.
Good morning, Miriam. Thank you for calling us.
As regards the WAEC issue, sincerely, it's a pity that decades after independence, the country still cannot conduct a smooth and meaningful examination. And the question is, are we moving forward as a nation, or we are moving backward? What exactly is the cause of the leak of the examination question? Sincerely, I believe there are so many saboteurs in the system, and the federal government needs to flush them out. They should focus more on governance rather than the 2027 election. They are channeling their entire energy to. A lot needs to be done to take the country to prosperity, and I pray the Lord will lead them right. Thank you. Good morning.
Amen. Thank you so much, Miriam. And you can say that again. Seem like there's a lot in the system, but is the federal government really ready? Hello, good morning to you.
Yes, this is Ruth calling from
Good morning, Ruth from Thank you so much.
Yeah. No, on this issue of WAEC, the WAEC board does not have any reason to put the lives of these students in danger due to their failure for proper preparation. Because I believe they should have improved by now instead of all this. So it's high time the people in government show more seriousness to education sector. So the same thing was experienced as well during JAM exam. They should please do the needful. They should stop toying with the lives of these students. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. Hello. Good morning to you.
Hello. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning.
Happy lovely Friday. Good morning to our listeners.
Good morning.
I'm Sharif from
Good morning, Sharif.
Regarding WAEC, I think in the history of Nigeria, students have never written a WAEC exam, especially using candle and touchdown, in a country where insecurity is an icon always. Because there are some schools that their distance very far from the town. Even there, from report I received on that day, that there are some students that they arrive home around past 9, past 8. which is not supposed to be. So what the WAEC supposed to do on that is that when they discover that the exam has been linked out, they're supposed to postpone it to another day. That's the best way to do it. It is compulsory for them to do it on that day. So I think now the WAEC apologize. But what about some different states, which are like in the northern part of the country, like Yola and Taraba? But the report there is very unpalatable. So that's my own submission.
Thank you so much, Sharif. Good morning to you. All right, power situation is another concern. Two things happened in that video, or several videos. Power situation, almost all of the videos, torchlights, if not all of them. And then writing at night. Two sectors in our nation in one video, education and the power sector. Let's take a break quickly. When we come back, Tinubu declares economic reforms working, the second anniversary, and the midterm, review. We talk about that. And of course, there's something from Wale Edun I would want you to listen to. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on these websites: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817-665-7060, 0707-338-4828, SEC 0209-462-1168. Announcer, FSRCC.
Boost your business with Wells Radio 89.3 FM. In a competitive world of business, strategic brand and product positioning is key to growth. Don't remain unseen in the shadows. Shine a spotlight on your brand with Wells Radio 89.3 FM today. Why Wells Radio? We are your state's #1 family radio station. We connect with the heart of families in your state. As the smallest unit of the society, families trust Wells Radio for quality content and information. Visit us today along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Our white and blue building just before Sharp Corner ensures your business won't go unnoticed. Advertise with us today. Call our marketing office on 0903-936-8185. Call Toby on 0803-509-3394. Yomi on 0706-616-5053. Take the leap today. Let Wells Radio 89.3 FM be the megaphone for your business success. You won't regret it.
Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Nigerian economy has had its major distortions removed. It has stabilized, and it is now set on a path for growth. The fact is that inflation, which you spoke to in particular, is stabilizing. Prices are coming down. Food prices are down. Petrol is now below 900 naira per liter. So I think those are effects that are trickling down. But more importantly, what has changed under the administration, the Tinubu administration in the last 2 years, is that now Nigeria is incentivized. The economy is incentivized for productivity and for production. If you look at the oil sector in particular, when you look at the price signals there, it is the conducive environment that has led to domestic refining. And we are looking at a situation where more refiners are coming. We expect very soon to have 1.2 million barrels per day of refining capacity. That is job creation. That is raw materials for very many industries through the petrochemical sector. And likewise, the price signals that even we see from a liquid foreign exchange market encourages investors to come in and produce. And indeed, it encourages savers, because when you have too big a gap between the rate of inflation and the interest rate, it is a discouragement to hold in Naira. But as we see now, under central bank's leadership, the gap between inflation and interest rates has narrowed, and we're close to having real interest rates. So I think that on the whole, there has been improvement, particularly in the price level that Nigerians can benefit from.
All right, when I say we go beyond the news, this is one of a very critical situation where we must go beyond the news and go beyond the screaming headlines to analyze and get the real picture. You listen to the voice of Wale Edo right there, of course, making a comment on the midterm review of the president. I mean, he said a lot of things in there. Nigerians, Nigeria, the paperwork, the World Bank, IMF, oh my God, the lines are already coming in. Okay, let's do it this way. Let's be very diplomatic with our thoughts this morning. It is very critical. 0916-893-1000. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you. Your name and where you're calling us from. Please turn down the volume on your radio set.
Okay.
Yes.
All
right, Adirunke. Thank you.
Yeah, on the scorecard of president, seriously, nothing to celebrate about, because hardship has been the order of the day. Nothing seems to be working under this administration. Just take a look at it. Look at the security architecture in the state. Look at the cost of goods in the market. So nothing to write home about, seriously. So they need to review some of their policies and make amendments. That's my take.
Thank you so much, Adirunke, for that. Organized Labour on Thursday delivered an unflattering assessment of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's 2 years in office, saying his reforms and policies brought nothing but pain and suffering to Nigerians. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Radio.
Good morning, Mr. George from Olugmeru.
The voice you just played now, is he really talking to Nigerians, or is talking to people who are not within the system? What improvement is he trying to show us there? Is he comparing it with the previous administration alongside with that which they are managing now? Or with the people, with the complaint of the people of Nigeria today in nearly all ramifications? Look at the education, the 2 exams they have just done. Look at what happened there. Is that the improvement that they are talking about? I think Tinubu really, he does not know what he's doing. Or maybe he knows, but the people he's working with are the people that are really undoing him. He has to sit down and think very well about the leadership of this country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. George from Olugmeru. By the way, you listen to the voice of the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edo, right there. In case someone is listening and wondering whose voice is that exactly, that is the voice of Wale Edo. Moving back to the story, the Labour movement countered Tinubu's claims.
Permit me to say one of the things about Wale Edo.
Okay, you want to say, okay.
Yes.
Let me let you comment on that. I wanted to finish this and you come in, but
okay,
let me take your thoughts.
Okay.
And then we come back. Everything is still connected, but
in all seriousness, Wale Edo needs to be more serious than this nonsense. I mean, I'm not sure I have heard a more beautiful nonsense in my life. Let's say one or two things. Number one, he said that the price of fuel is now around 900 naira, and he is celebrating that.
Below 900 naira.
He is a failure, no doubt about that. Because when his administration came on board, a liter of petrol was going for 185 naira. Now we are buying it at the rate of 880 naira, and this clown is telling us to celebrate that. Who does that? He said the price of food is coming down. That is a very big fat and tall lie. Go to the market. Everybody knows what the price of food is saying. Let me make a particular reference to the price of rice. Rice currently is less than 70,000 naira. That's the truth. But when they came on board, rice was going for 28,000 naira. Now it's over 100% of it. And rice wouldn't have been around 70,000 naira if not for the fact that there is global glut in the supply of rice. It's common knowledge that the production for this year in India, Thailand, Brazil exceeded what they expected. And for that reason, when there is too much supply, price is going to fall naturally. So that is what is happening. It's not because of what is happening here. If these clowns had given us proper currency, we wouldn't be buying a bag of rice at the rate of 70,000. It's going to be 7,000 naira, because most of these things are coming in, and dollar is going to have an effect. Imagine the price of the conversion rate between the naira and the dollar is 150 naira, like it used to be before these people came on board. It would have been a tenth of what we are buying right now. So 7,000 naira. His failure in the area of failing to tame the naira is why we are buying it at a rate of 7,000. Everybody across the globe is rejoicing that the price of rice has reduced drastically. But here, because of his failure, I'm talking about what they're doing here, we are still buying it for around 70,000 naira. And somehow these people are telling us to clap for them. I mean, where exactly is that audacity coming from? I don't get it. The president said something. I mean, Mr. George said something then. I was that the president who does, the president knows everything. He said it with his own mouth yesterday that the security situation in the country has improved drastically. When he was saying that bandits were, at that particular moment, kidnapping a monarch in Nasarawa state. They were killing people like it's Armageddon in Niger state, in Sokoto, in Zamfara, almost in every corner of the country. And you are looking us in the eyes and saying to us that the security situation of the country has improved. That is balderdash. That is complete nonsense. And that is why Nigerians are getting further disconnected from the government, because it's an entity that dispels, that dispenses lies as if that's what it's there to do. And that's shameful. It is totally shameful.
In a statement, the Nigeria Labour Congress NLC President Joe Ajaero submitted that far from renewing hope, his government has merely recycled the same failed, experiment of the past. However, the All Progressives Congress pushed back against Tinubu's critics, accusing the NLC of misrepresenting the reality. Now, responding to the criticism against the president, the APC National Vice Chairman, Southeast, Dr. Ijoma, said the NLC's evaluation lacked depth and objectivity. I'm going to quote now, says that their statement was sponsored. The NLC failed to engage the real issues and instead choose to grandstand. It is disappointing to see a professional body making comment that sounds more like what you would hear in a marketplace. They ought to consult economists and policy experts before making such superficial remarks. We're going to play Wale Edun's statement again. But before then, I said something. Okay, let's take this call, and I'll come back to that. Hello, good morning to you.
Yes, sir. This is Ruth calling back.
All right, Ruth, good morning. Thank you for calling back.
Sir. Yes, sir. No, this Mr. President policy and the economic policy is just nothing to write home about. Because if truly it's working, so why have we not enjoyed the benefit of subsidy removal since then? See the tariff hike that pushes more Nigerians into poverty. Even the minimum wage can't plan a better life for an average Nigerian. Insecurity is there, but what they are just after is that 2027 ambition. So it's high time Baba Tinubu rise up from this from this number and allow the poor masses to breathe. They should please have mercy on us because we need to be begging them now. Because it's just like they are not even hearing us at all. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. 0915 334 893 091 6893 1000. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, Sheriff, you're calling back to.
Yes, I'm Sheriff calling back.
All right, Sheriff.
See, what the NSU was said, they are right. But don't forget, those who are defending President Tinubu, they are trying to cover the pot of their soup. So that's the reason why most of our politicians, they are failed. Those people that are very close to President Tinubu, those that are surrounded to him, they are not sincere. They are not feeling what we, the masses, are feeling. See, the inception of Tinubu till now, you know how our economic is working. You know that the price of goods has skyrocketed. Because the major problem we have here is that anytime the price of fuel increase, definitely the price of commodities have increased. Although some bag of rice have been reduced, but what about those commodities? The transportation fare, transportation cost also is there. Those workers, especially the civil servants, most of them, they are lamenting the cost of transportation. If care is not taken, all your salary, you can use it for transportation for a low month. Despite that, you have some family that you need to feed. So Mr. President needs to do something on our economy. Because our economy is not even smiling. That's why some masses, they even call this admission as a massive disappointment. Because what they told us when you remove subsidies, that all the money that generated from there, you use it to do some infrastructure, education. They don't even borrow money, but now they want to borrow our funds, just trillions of naira. That means they are not sincere with us. May God guide our leaders right to do it for us on time. That's my own submission.
Thank you so much, Sharif, for calling back. Let's listen to Wale Edu again, and I would want us to reconcile. If that is coming from the minister and our own reality, our analysts were weighing on that. I know you're not an economist, but you're a political scientist, and we just want to reconcile what is on the paper and our reality. We'll be right back.
The Nigerian economy has had its major distortions removed. It has stabilized, and it is now set on a path for growth. The fact is that inflation, which you spoke to in particular, is stabilizing. Prices are coming down. Food prices are down. Petrol is now below 900 naira per liter. So I think those are effects that are trickling down. But more importantly, what has changed under the administration, the Tinubu administration in the last 2 years, is that now Nigeria is incentivized. The economy is incentivized for productivity and for production. If you look at the oil sector in particular, when you look at the price signals there, it is the conducive environment that has led to domestic refining. And we are looking at a situation where more refiners are coming. We expect very soon to have 1.2 million barrels per day of refining capacity. That is job creation. That is raw materials for very many industries through the petrochemical sector. And likewise, the price signals that even we see from a liquid foreign exchange market encourages investors to come in and produce. And indeed, it encourages savers, because when you have too big a gap between the rate of inflation and the interest rate, it is a discouragement to hold in naira. But as we see now, under central bank's leadership, the gap between inflation and interest rates has narrowed, and we're close to having real interest rates. So I think that on the whole, there has been improvement, particularly in the price level that Nigerians can benefit from.
All right, still on Perspectives Unlimited. Federal government spends 75% of revenue, on debt, the AFDB wants. Food prices are coming down. That's coming from the coordinating minister of the economy, and against the reality in the market. food prices are coming down. Are they truly coming down? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, well sir.
Good morning to you. Your name and where you're calling us
All
from,
right,
sir?
good morning, sir. I'm Salami from Awoton. Good morning, Mr. Sonny.
Good morning, sir.
Unfortunately, the same propaganda that this president currently and his party used to discredit Jonathan is the same propaganda they are still using to rule. I don't know. So they are now paying back. They are not paying Nigerians' expectation of dividends of democracy with propaganda, inefficiency, gross inefficiency, wastefulness, and corruption. Can you imagine? Mr. Wadley don't coming up. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, he has said virtually nothing because honestly, there's nothing for me to hold in his speech. He claims that Nigerian economy is now incentivized. He should at the same time claim that Nigerian poor masses too have been palliativized. So they have now reduced Nigerians to mere palliative seekers. Rice, cup of rice, begging. They have reduced Nigerians to beggars as a result of their inefficiency. As a result of, they have killed the industry, they have killed the business. Man is not saying anything that is reasonable anymore. Manufacturing of Nigeria, everybody is complaining. Yeah, this one is coming on air to tell us Nigerian economy has bounced back, has improved, as this, as that. God knows best.
God knows best.
All I know is that God will deliver Nigeria from them.
Amen.
Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Mr. Sonny. Let's reconcile.
Yes. Mr. Wale Edun is someone who is actually giving me a headache this morning. The primary function of the Minister of Finance is to ensure a stable economy. What exactly is a stable economy without a stable currency? Before this guy came on board, the value of the naira was 471 naira to $1. Now it's 1,509, at least almost 1,600. We're talking about degenerating by somewhere around 400%. And this clown is telling us that things are stabilizing. Let's talk about the rate of inflation as well. The rate of inflation was around 30-something%. And all of a sudden, abracadabra, we are doing rebasing. From 30-something%, the following month, 20-something%, they shaved around 10% of it. And now they are saying that the two figures, interest rate of inflation, are aligning, when in reality you were the one who shaved 10% off the rate of inflation. Let's now talk about what is happening in the country. Of what benefit is what they are doing, if not that they have mischief at the back of their mind? A lot of us have been saying it. Reduce the rate of interest, and that is naturally going to crash the price of commodities, because nobody has any money in a tank in this country. People go to banks to borrow money whenever they want to do business. You are borrowing money to do business and you are paying 40% back, apart from the money, apart from the principal. There is no way prices are going to come down. Let's learn from countries that are doing well. There is not one G7 country that has its interest rate beyond 6%. Let's learn from them. Let's do what they are doing so that we can arrive at the destination where they are. No, our people are not doing that. It's about increasing the interest rate every time. And each time they do that, things further get worse. They know that things are getting worse each time they do that, just that they are not concerned, number one, or maybe it's the result that they desire for Nigerians. Mr. Wale Edun, you have failed massively beyond measure for 2 years. That's it.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, UI.
Good morning,
God
Mr. Benga. Good morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning, sir, Mr. Sonny.
Morning, sir.
Now, I'm as a father as I am. My children are home, and I tend to provide meals for them. And I'm out there driving exotic cars, flaunting money here and there, giving people an impression that yes, I'm a good father in my house. Whereas I'm not. Coming back to my house, you see my children hungry. I'm not being taken care of. That means I'm a failed father. Going back to what that Wale I just said now, I think to me, we Nigerians, that is showing us that he's a failed man already, because you are giving us another side to what is happening in the country. You are telling us that economy is stable, that Nigerians are now. You are telling us that the price of food has come down drastically. Who is fooling who? It to me is a father. And that Nigerians will not come out with demand for the registration of in this country. And you remember one thing, their power is transient. So one day, even if they spend after 31, if they won the election 2027, and I just feel that they're on 31, people will still come and question them. Because this lie will still tell it to their face back then. So I think to me, it's so hard and going to give president regime. Looking at what they are, looking at the reality on ground now, I think they have not performed. But they have not done too many. Out of 100, I can only give them 15%. So I think the question has to be, what do we do? What I told the president to have said, or that man that spoke, is that what do you think Nigeria? What do you think we can do for Nigerians that will better their laws? How can we do much better for them? So that in the next coming 3 years, then we have taken over 150 million Nigerians from poverty. I think that should have been what he said. So the propaganda he has come to tell us, he has come to tell the Nigerians. To me, it's a colossal failure. It's a big lie from the depth of hell, from the pit of hell. And I think such a leader, if he is like a criminal crime, the guy must have resigned from his office as he speaks. But in Nigeria here, anything goes. That's why I always see that in Nigeria, anything goes. And there's no punishment for this. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gbenga.
Let me add one thing. Let me add one for a second. If not for the fact that the press. Okay.
Oh, there's another call on the line. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, Mr. George calling back.
All right, Mr. George, thank you for calling back.
From this case of Wale Edu, it shows really that Wale Edu is the person that is really misleading the president. And the president should know that people are crying. How can you be a coordinating minister of the economy and you are telling Nigerians today that things are improving with everything failing, starting from education, going to security, and all ramifications. And you are telling us this morning that things are improving. Improving from where? What are you comparing it with? Was it like that during the time of Buhari when you came in? So they should stand up and do the right thing for us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And the president claims to have a BSc in accounting. This is his field. This is what is expected to be his field. So nobody can be deceiving him. It's a result of what he wants to say.
Another call is here. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning, sir.
My friend.
Good
my
morning.
name is Tayo. I'm calling from Odono.
All right, Mr. Tayo from Odono.
The issue at stake, I keep on wondering, where are the professionals? Where are the chartered accountants? Where are the economists of this great country? You see, what Wale Edu was saying yesterday was, I would call it juice of rubbish. You understand me? As an accountant, I expected the Nigerian economists to advise Tinubu. Forget about Wale Edu. He's an old fox. Now, what they should have told Tinubu, I'm talking of economists, they sound economists like a Soludo. Are you getting me? Or Goje Ewela? What they should have done is that they should introduce a treasury bills. You understand me?
They are doing that, sir, every month. They are earning trillions from that every month, sir.
Sir?
They are issuing treasury bills to the tune of trillions every month, sir. Every month.
I don't think so. If they are introducing it, sir, you understand me? When they introduce a treasury bill,
it's not that I'm thinking. I know so, sir.
Yeah.
I know that they are doing it every month.
Now listen to me, sir. What they are putting on the table now, what they are selling to Nigerians as far as this economy is concerned, is very wrong. You don't increase interest rates. Bank managers will be having what I would call bloated money. They will have enough money.
Because of our time, we have to let you go, sir.
Of Nigerians. You understand me? Look, let me tell you one thing. The only option is to introduce treasury. If they are not between, how many Nigerians are aware of this thing?
Thank you so much, sir.
I'm not aware now.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tayo. We have to let you go because of our time. Thank you so much, Mr. Tayo.
God.
Oh my God, so sorry about that, Mr. Tayo. Let me take this comment on Facebook very quickly. Adedamola Okunla says, "Beautiful morning to you in the studio. The 2 years of the president is nothing to write about. Never has Nigeria ever gone through this form of hardship under any administration before. And Wike is saying that the achievement of Mr. President is unprecedented. It shows that this administration does not care about its citizens but themselves." Adekunle Christiana says, "Good morning and well done." All right, sir. Let me let you come in.
If not that the price of crude fell from 80-something to 60-something, we will still, minding the template on the ground, created by this federal government, you'll still be buying for a rate of 1,200 per liter.
That's all we can take on the program this morning. Thank you so much, Mr. Lani Kosoni.
Kosoni.
Thank you so much. You can be very sure that Perspectives Unlimited, we have our hands on the stories. We're tracking it. And as the day break, we will be here again to serve you the top stories. Not to depress you, but to keep you informed. And, of course, for you to be able to make the best decision when it's time to march to the poll. Today's Friday. Put a big smile on your face because everything will be well. My name is Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo. Good morning and God bless you.
Please listen to this important information.